In this video, we will talk about many things. We will talk about ocean sustainability and what is the situation of our oceans, also with a very big focus on the main issues that our ocean is suffering right now. I will also mention some solutions that we can do in order to reduce these negative impacts and with a motivational outro. So, enough talk and let's get into it. Roll intro.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. This could be us.
So to start with, let's talk about what is ocean sustainability. Well, according to one website, which I will mention into the link down in the description, ocean sustainability is a very needed approach to manage our oceans and service provided. And why do I need to focus this on why is this very important? Well, it's very important because our oceans are our principal resources to increase in our tourism sector, to maintain our energy, and also to make transportation more efficient. But the problem is that in today's situation, the ocean is suffering by three negative impacts. Firstly, we are suffering by fishing, that is from 2021 2022, so the date of today, like the year of today, and also is suffering also by pollution, in which that's very devastating, the pollution of the ocean, because if we don't protect the ocean right now, we'll have a plastic soup in our ocean, and this is not good because this could be that the fish could disappear with the implementation of plastics, in which I will explain it right now. Then also a very impacted negative issue is based on corals, which I will explain how it went, the evolution from 2017 to 2019. So let's go through the sections one by one. So let's go first by fishing. Fishing is the most devastating effect on the ocean, because if we reduce the fish population, for example, overfishing, if we do a lot of overfishing, the fish population is very affected. For example, let's take, for example, this image into account. So it's like showing the parts of the shark that is most valuable. This is very devastating for the shark populations, because in most Asian countries, especially China, they do shark finning. What do I mean shark finning? Well, they catch shark and they take off the fins to make shark fin soup, and then they put again the shark into water, dead or alive. And this is not very good, because if we take, for example, the shark of one level, let's say shark is level 5. If we take level 5, level 4, that will be the prey, for example, tuna, would be overpopulated because they don't have the top predator, so they eat more small fish, and when they don't have enough food, the tuna will die eventually. When they die, the small fish, they will overpopulate, and then they will have no food left, because as they eat on plankton or coral, as they eat more food, there will be less food for them if they overpopulate too much, so they die again. So basically, we are destroying the environment or the ocean if we are taking the top predator away, because the top predator, that is the sharks, is very fundamental for our ecosystem, because it maintains our ecosystems. Not only sharks, but if you see in this image here, we can see that very important organisms such as dolphins or whales are being also caught, that are very fundamental for our ecosystem, especially whales, because they help us to maintain our ecosystem balanced, and doesn't lead to an overpopulation of fish. But dolphins also, because as they eat fish, they maintain the population stable. And why does this happen to many animals? Well, because money, for example, valuable money, or they want some food. But this needs to stop. We need to stop overfishing, because this is a very devastating effect that we need to stop, and if we don't stop it, it right now, we will have empty oceans by 2048. So let's like to reduce this. I don't mean that you don't need to eat fish. You can eat fish, but basically you need to reduce the consumption of fish so you can protect the fish that are being caught, or fish less fish, because that's like have devastating effects in our ocean. But also, like for example, donating some, like buying a bracelet can also help a lot into the environment for some like in some companies. Let's go to the next topic: pollution. Pollution is very, very, very devastating. Why do I mean devastating? Because with pollution, with plastic pollution, we are reducing the amounts of fish and organism into the environment, as the species of the marine species, they think the plastic is like the normal food. So, for example, let's take this example of the turtle here ingesting a plastic bag, and like the pollution here in the South Ocean. Very devastating, because if, for example, people litter plastic bags into the floor, by the wind, the plastic bags will be carried to the rivers, and the rivers will lead the plastic back to the open ocean. And that's very devastating, because as sea turtles eat normally jellyfish, they confuse the plastic bags by jellyfish. And this is very devastating for sea turtles, because sea turtles also maintain our ecosystems healthy. And this has led to like in one time of day, like very recently, 52% of the sea turtles were killed by only ingesting plastics. And we need to resolve this, because we don't resolve it and we don't take action now, our ocean will be infested with plastic and with no organisms for us to survive. But also 88% of the marine species die because of plastic. So what can we do instead of disposing plastic into the ocean, or like reducing the impact of plastics? Well, what we can do, for example, is buy, for example, bracelets from Full Ocean, because not only you are helping the team to track the species, but you are also putting 1 pound of plastic into the oceans, and that's very good. But another thing that you can do to reduce this impact is, for example, you can see like 2 images here in which I share my experience on doing beach cleanups. If you attend beach cleanups and clean all the plastics in the sea, you are taking a very good you are like if having a good impact into the environment, because you are saving most marine species. For example, you can also take the example of Indonesia, that they are releasing the sea turtles that were endangered to the ocean, and that's very good. A very good, also very good positive impact. So many things you can do to reduce your impact into the ocean. Lastly but not least, we have coral reefs. Coral reefs also has a very big impact in our ecosystems, because of course we know that most of us, we use the car but to travel to many places. But why? But what is this negative impact? Well, cars and airplanes, for example, they release a lot of CO2 into the air. The CO2 gas in the air makes the atmosphere heat up, and 93% of the atmosphere goes to the ocean. And this is a big problem to coral reefs, because the temperatures are getting higher, and as the temperatures are getting higher, the coral reefs cannot survive, because they have extreme temperatures that they can't like survive in this kind of weather. And this is it's a very big problem, because this leads to ocean acidification or coral bleaching. If coral bleaches, they eventually will die, because they are not letting other organisms or other things to go into the coral when they are white, and when they are white, they they cannot reproduce, they cannot like feed on anything, and then they eventually die. In 2017, watching like a documentary that was very, very interesting about searching coral, and it was a very interesting documentation that I think is very impactful for, in my opinion, for me, is that the coral in most places is reducing, and it's very, very devastating, because coral also protects us from many sea catastrophes. In that documentary, they recorded that 29% of the coral was lost in the Great Barrier Reef, the greatest coral reef area of the world. And that's very devastating, very, very bad, because the coral is like reducing there, and it's keeping on reducing if we don't take an action now. And 50% more or less of coral was lost in Hawaii. So to like protect the environment with to reduce the impact of coral bleaching, or like reduce the negative impact of the dying of coral, what you could do is, for example, I don't mean don't use the car, but reduce the times that you use the car. For example, use public transport to reduce the greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere, or for example, go cycling to one place, as that's more efficient and more economic. And for the last part, I would say that to answer the question, it's not too late to save our oceans. We need to take action immediately so that our oceans is protected. So for my possible solutions to reduce our negative impact of the ocean is try to do some beach cleanups, as I explained there. Try to attend some beach cleanups that you can possibly attend, or buy a bracelet or merchandise from one company that helps to reduce the negative effects of plastic pollution, for example, so that you can take awareness or raise awareness on the ocean and save many marine animal species, or many marine species. So for my last motivational phase is big ideas make big differences. If you have a big idea on protecting the planet, why not do it? Why not come up with one idea to save some marine species? And also, for example, don't use so much plastic, and use more biodegradable products. For example, buying crystal, like for example metal bottles, or for example any bottle that is not made from plastics, so that you can increase your impact. So this is the end of the video, and I hope you can get quick overview on why is it important to protect our oceans, and why is it important to preserve it. So see you guys in my next video. And no, not wait. Okay. So if you want to subscribe to me, you can click right here. If you want to, and as always, leave a like, and turn on notifications, so that you can be up to date with every video that I make. So this is the end of the video, and I hope you like it, and see you in the next video. Bye guys.